Erica from OT. Today's video is going to be on using household found empty containers and objects to have fine motor practice. So what I have here are just objects I found around my home. And I do not want you to go to the store and buy anything for any of these activities. I want you to use what you have in your house. Take my ideas and find whatever you have at your house, what works for you, to try some of these things at home to get your kids working on their fine motor skills, their hand-eye coordination, using both hands together in combination. That's the idea for these activities. So I will demonstrate, just show you some of the things I have. The first of which is an empty baby wipes container. I've cleaned it out, and this is nice. You just do have a pop open top. And what I did with this one is I have some poker chips, some heavy weighted poker chips, and some playing cards. So with these, I would lay them out or give your child one at a time. Have them visually locate what you want them to and pinch like an alligator. They're going to hold the container with one hand if they're able. They're going to pick up the object with their dominant hand or the preferred hand and then push in. If they're different colors, you can tell them get blue, get red, or just doing it where you're picking up and putting in the playing cards as well would fit nicely in a wipe container or something of this size. The next thing I have here is a can. So something from your cabinet, and I found some hair ties and some rubber bands. And with this, they're going to hold with one hand, and they're going to take the rubber bands or the hair ties or the scrunchies, whatever you have, and put it around the object. It's tricky with the tighter it is. You can color them in different colors with a marker. Really, this is a great activity to work on that finger and hand strength. This one is more of a complex activity, and then you can have them move it all the way down while holding it with one hand, move it all the way down, put it on the top. Try to have them only use the one hand instead of the other hand to help to make it more difficult. Next thing I have here is just an empty container. I've slit a small hole with a knife on the top that you would do for your child. Start with something very small, and then you can always make it bigger if you need to. And with this, I just found some coins, pennies, dimes, quarters, whatever you have lying around, your spare change. Move it up to your fingertips, push it through the hole. The reason I said to make it not too big of a hole is to get that extra resistance where you're really going to have to use your fingers and work on that finger and hand strength and push it in. That one. The next I have here is another empty container, and I cut a square shape hole to fit my objects. So depending on what objects you're going to use, you can cut it to fit the objects. And this, I have some blocks, simple blocks. And you're going to match and push the blocks into the hole. It might have some resistance, or it might need some trial and error to try to move it, to manipulate it, and that's good for their hand-eye coordination. All right, what do I got here? Okay, empty food container. The lid pops open. You can use cotton balls or whatever you have. I use some pom-poms. So you're going to push the pom-poms through the hole. Also working on your child opening and closing the containers independently if they're able. Being able to twist on and off the lids is a great way to work on life skills at home with your child. Next I have empty spice jars. I love empty spice jars. I use them all the time, so I always save, wash, and reuse them. There's many different kinds that have different lids. This one is just a simple 3-hole. This one has 2, the holes and the open, to make it easier or harder depending on your child's levels. And this one here is a larger one with smaller holes. So again, you could practice opening and putting on the containers, in the top, excuse me. But what you can do here, I didn't have any home with me, but if you have any pipe cleaners lying around, those are awesome. You cut them into pieces and they look thick and furry, but you really have to push them in through the different holes, and they fit nicely inside many of the different spice jars, even the very small holes. But what I do have here is toothpicks. I had those lying around. So you could draw them different colors, color them in, excuse me, different colors, and put one at a time, pick them up, and put them into the holes. Again, if you have small uncooked rice or beans, you can do that as well for the smaller holed objects. And then another I have here, another empty container, again 2-sided, larger if your child needs help, smaller if they're able to. To make it even easier for your child, you can even do an empty lid. Take the lid off and you're just going to have them pick up and put in to make that easier for your child. But with this one, I cut up straws. You might have plastic straws left over from restaurants. You can use those. You can use them long if you have a longer container. If you have a shorter container, just cut them into pieces and have your child pick up the straw pieces and put them in. Alright, so I demonstrated many different ideas that you can try at home this week with your child. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to leave a comment or reach out directly, and I'd be happy to answer those for you. I hope you all have fun with this activity and that you're doing well, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you.